Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time this message meets you. Thank you for tuning in to us. And if you're just joining us for the first time, I say a very big welcome to you. And I say welcome back to all my returning subscribers. If you've not subscribed, please do subscribe, share, like, and engage in the comment section. That will take us a long way. It will help us work better and engage you on more meaningful conversations now and in the future. So if you listened to or you watched the last video, we started a series, Diary of a Special. I was about to say Diary of a Special Mom because it's a book I've read by Deli Singer, one of Cameroon's finest influencers and authors in modern times. But no, we're not looking at Diary of a Special Mom. We're looking at Diary of a Sexually Abused Child. And this is the episode 2. Thank you for joining us once more. This is the episode 2 of this series. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so have you ever heard of the word grooming? You know, there are words that have always existed, but they were not so popularly used, maybe because the subjects that they were created to handle or to discuss or to elucidate uh, were not really rampant, or they were most of the time just swept under the carpet, like sexual abuse, domestic violence, and all the negative things that happens in the human history as you and I know. Grooming, pedophile. If you had asked me what the word pedophile meant 5 years ago, I would have said I don't know, because I didn't. If you had asked me if I'm aware that men abuse children sexually, I would gladly say, I'll not gladly say, but I would scream a big yes, very loud. But I didn't know that when grown people abuse children, they target children for sexual abuse, they have a name that they give them, and it's called pedophile. Yeah, I've heard that word before. And then I heard it again, and I wanted to, like understand it even better when I watched it on my favorite podcast, The Lean in Boogie Show, where a woman was sharing her story in regards to her Western house, her husband. He was a pedophile, and he was so into it such that he would actually download videos of children, just playing with them, like touching himself, being excited to hurt them sexually. And we have so many people like that in our society. So we have grooming on the one hand, we have the pedophile on the other hand. The question is, who is being groomed and for what? Grooming is a big word. When we talked about grooming in the past, many years back, we are looking at parents bringing up children, right? I mean, that's the literal meaning that would come to mind for anybody out there. Logically, okay, who groomed you? Like, okay, who trained you? Who raised you? Those are synonyms, right? But when we look at grooming more closely in present times, we're looking at deception. We are looking at seduction. We are looking at manipulation. All the negative things you can think of. That's what we are looking at in the 21st century. This year, 2025, that's what we are looking at. Who is grooming who and for what purpose? The pedophile is grooming the child. For what? So that they can abuse them sexually and still get to control whether or how they leak that information. How does they groom our children? Have we sat down to question ourselves and ask ourselves? Because the people who do this, the pedophiles are not necessarily or are sexual abusers and have to a large extent, 90% of the time, are not strangers. They are people we know. They are neighbors. They are uncles. They are aunties. They are fathers. They are even our faith brothers and sisters. We worship in the same church. They are leaders. Could even be a deacon or a deaconess. Could be anything. Could be a teacher, your teacher. I have a story like that from of my own self, my experience, and I'll share it. Just ensure you just keep watching, but not on this episode. What do they start by doing when we say they are grooming our children for these things? Maybe you need to share these with your loved ones. Please share it. They're nice to them. Come and sit on my lap. Give me a peg on my cheek. Give it to me on my lips. I'm your uncle, I'm your daddy. I can't hurt you. I got you some biscuits. I got you your favorite ice cream. I got you shoes. I got you nice spectacles. I got you a drawing book. I got you a pencil. Anything that can entice a child. And children can be enchanted by just little gestures. I've been a child. You watching, you've been a child. Not probably, you have been a child. There's no one who is born an adult. I mean, like, how will you come out of your mother's womb full grown? Nobody comes out an adult. We all come out as babies, right? We are first conceived, and then we are fetuses. And then when we are full grown and ready, our parents, boom, they pump us out, right? And then they start. That's how it starts. While I would like to have conversations around this, interview people and share in people's experiences someday, I think I should just be talking about this now, because you probably are in a position right now, you don't even know who is around you. You need to be careful. They are nice. I'm not saying you should go accusing people, but you know, as a parent, as a mother, as a father, and I don't want to keep emphasizing just on the mothers, because I think that's something we do a lot. Every time we want to talk, I know that yes, the primary caregiver by nature is a mother. There's no debate there. The primary caregiver is a mother, and by virtue of the fact that we are the carriers, and that's just the truth, right? At first. But then we don't make babies out by ourselves, right? It takes two people, a man and a woman, to make a child. It should take the two to groom them, right? And it's very important for all hands to be on deck to ensure that that child has a healthy upbringing, has a beautiful childhood, right? But when we leave it to one person and we are less concerned, or we think it's more of a responsibility of one party than the other, then we are doing not a great injustice to the other parent. It's a great injustice to the child, and we will account for our irresponsibility. I just have to point that out. We have to be concerned about grooming. The male friends we have, the female friends we have, because now I'm not just going to deal with sexual abuse that has to do with opposite sex. I've talked about sodomy. Sodomy is there. But let's just focus on the girl today, and then the next episode, I think we'll look at the boys. You're just grooming the little girl. You're buying her things. You carry her on your lap. You carry a little girl on your lap, and you're rubbing her on your lap. You want her to be moving sideways so that she can do what? She can stimulate your penis. These things are not jokes. These things are not funny. They are happening. The reason you want her on your lap is not because you want to give her a fatherly warmth or unclely warmth, if there's such a thing, or brotherly warmth or an elderly warmth of a carer, of a loved one. But it's because you want her to stimulate your penis with her butt, and she doesn't even know it. Sometimes you deliberately let her hands to be touching you all around sensitive areas of your body. These are things that people do, parents. Let's watch out. To stimulate you. Let me just share a story. So some years back, I was in Kumba, right? And I was in the market. I went to buy. I'm walking around this market. I don't remember what I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. And then I come to this store. This is a young man of not less than 25. I'm not exaggerating. A little girl of about 10, 11. You know what she's doing? What I find her doing? Her hands are on his breast. I think he was putting on a shirt or a singlet. He was actually the person selling. And then she was just there like one of those students who maybe you've come to sell with your mother and she gets you, you get to just stay with the neighbors because you know each other in the market, that kind of situation. And she's there. She's seriously tuning his breast, his nipples as a man. Her hands on his breast, caressing and tuning. And dude was enjoying it. He was moving around the store doing stuff. She was playing, but he kept on tuning in and playing with the balls, playing. She kept on playing with it. And when I got there, I was like, what the hell is going on here? I asked her to stop. I was so mad, like, what are you doing that for? Will you stop it? To this little girl, it was a joke. She, from her reaction, her laughter, her smile, I could tell the innocence. But that man of 25 years, was he innocent? Let's be frank as adults, as caregivers, whether we are parents or not, we are all responsible for these children. I don't need to be a parent to be concerned about my neighbor's son or daughter or anyone. And I looked at this guy like, how the hell do you allow a little girl stimulate you sexually and you do nothing? How do you allow her stimulate you sexually and you do nothing? You are enjoying it. It's fun. She's stimulating you. She's touching you. And probably your girl, maybe she's not, I don't know if to say she's not giving it to you or maybe you're not. I really don't care what the drill is. But a little child, the best you can do is to educate her and stop her. But clearly you as somebody who is so aware of yourself, you allow her continue to. So imagine if he was in his bedroom or his living or in an area where people were not watching. Because the moment you start fine-tuning yourself, you don't really need to be sexually active to understand yourself. We don't feel like having sex because we are with the opposite sex. Naturally, the way God made us, I get honey, you get honey. It's not about tuning on to a pornographic movie. These are natural feelings that we were born with and we have the ability to control. So don't get me started on because I see a lot of us these days talking about sex like it's some disease that God gave us. You can't control your sexual appetite. Come on. Sleep is natural, but you don't get to sleep 24 hours. Why do we make it look like it's a curse? Because the last time I checked, our sexual desires and pleasures were given to us for a blessing. Why do we make it look like it's a curse now? Like we're looking at God like, why? That's not an excuse to be promiscuous, right? And so I imagined all manner of things just watching that girl and I looked around like, when I left that scene, I was not satisfied. Like I almost did not forgive. It was so hard to forgive myself because I thought I could do better. And that girl could have been in a room with him and he would say, stimulate me, touch my penis, touch me here, kiss me on the lips, give me wet lips, kiss, give me a wet kiss. And I have an issue with that giving like wet kisses. That's a subject on its own that I want to address some other time. I don't know why somebody who's not a biological parent will be given a newborn baby that's not theirs wet kisses. That's a subject for next time. I don't want to crowd this episode with unnecessaries or topics that are out of place. And that's what happens. So you're buying her things, and he was very friendly, right? Yes, clearly that girl was used to him. I just use that example. That's a real life experience that I watched happen before my eyes in the market, in an open place. And people were just passing. Nobody is taking note of the fact that this is pathetic. What is a little girl continue? Like you keep on touching and you're caressing. For her, to her, she was pinching his breast and trying to tickle him and all of that. But to him, of course, she's caressing. She was actually whetting his sexual appetite and just getting him ready. And I would not be surprised if at some point he had an erection. These are truths. These are truths. I don't know if you're shying away from sex education. I don't know how you're teaching sex education to your children. Let me just say this to the men without any bias. I really hope that, and I believe it's the way it should be. Why the mother is on one hand or the woman is on one hand, whether as a professional in whatever capacity, talking to a child about sexual abuse or a girl about sexual abuse. It should be complementary, or a boy even about sexual, it should be complementary. While you're hearing from this woman how women will come and sexually abuse you, trying to turn you maybe to become a lesbian or whatever, or just tamper with you, a man wants to tamper with you, the man should be on the other side showing how these people come. But when we leave it as a one-sided story, we leave it on a one-sided story, there is so much, there's just so much that one person can do or one gender can do. We are not different for nothing. We are different because we were meant to be complementary. God is not stupid. We need each other to combat these things. It takes two to give birth to a child, to make a child. It's got to take two to raise it. I don't care what the odds are. It's got to take two to raise it. It's very important. So you groom the girl. You groom her, you buy her stuff, you make her sit on your lap. When nobody's watching, you call her to the room. There's so many children out here who are prey to such things. Children who are hawking. I have seen another scenario like that going many years back. Yeah, short story. So this little girl hawks granite. And this man deals with metals and all whatnot, right? He has a small shade. She sells granules every time she passes. Guess what this old man in his 60s, really dark, does? He calls her into his store. I remember that time, I think I must have been 19, trying to get admission into the university at the time, but I'll never forget. That's about 10, more than 10 years ago, because now I'm 30. And what does this girl do? He calls her. You want to buy from a child. What is the relationship with the granules she's selling and her coming into your store? She didn't tell you that it's sunny and she doesn't have a place to stay. What does he do? He tells her to put out the granule, takes her into his store, and then closes the door. And the place is so crowded, you can't see. It's just a very small shade. And by the time I keep passing, I ask. I remember I passed there a couple of times. And every time I saw that man, my spirit, it was just off. It was like he had some sort of, I don't know, demon or bad spirit around him. And I remember asking the person from whom I came to buy from, a kiosk around, why is this girl always in this store? I've noticed every time I pass once in a while, this little girl. And guess what she said? That's what they do. That's how every time she passed, that man like that, that's how he did. So it's like they already knew, but everybody just sat quiet. If you watch the first video I did, I asked a question. Where do you stand? The stakes are high when it comes to sexual abuse on children. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? What role do you have to play in order to save a child or get justice for a child who has been sexually abused? Your silence is also a voice. My silence is also a voice. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. It's terrible because every time I think about that incident, I am scared, like children who are hawking. How do you hawk till 7 p.m.? And you're done hawking, you still have to trek home, probably another 1 or 2 hours. I don't know what country you are. I'm in Cameroon. You can be in South Africa, you can be in Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, Lesotho, Mozambique, Mauritania, Mauritius, Canada, USA, whatever country, Philippines, Dubai. This thing really does not know nationality right now. It's happening everywhere. You can be in India, you can be anywhere. It doesn't guarantee your safety from these progress. It does not guarantee your safety from these pedophiles. They don't show mercy. They've never shown mercy. So are they grooming your child? Are you telling your young ones? Are you telling the little children around you? Are you telling those ones who are, I mean, like when you're 10, 11, your breast starts popping up. I think the people who even notice it more than any other people are males. I don't know. I'm speaking from experience. Like they notice it. They see the nipples, the attraction. The nipples are shooting out of your shirt. Your parents are probably not gotten you a bra. It's so much, please. The grooming is real. The grooming is real. And they don't just groom these children to love and like them. They groom them to also stay quiet when they are going through those experiences. Remember I read an excerpt on the first episode of this series where I was talking about, and I was lying down, sometimes sitting, sometimes lying. But I didn't understand what was being done to me. I was powerless, afraid. I couldn't move. And that's what is happening to many of our children. That's what's happening to many of our girls. That's what's happening to many of our boys. Okay? Just let me know what your take is on this conversation in the comment section, please. And remember to keep your comment as respectful as always. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until I see you, God willing, from me to you, goodbye for now.